Wait, you're starting recording now?
Start recording now to cut out all the technical difficulties that we've just had.
Well, at least it wasn't as much as last time.
Yeah, that is true. So, last time you two were on the channel, we talked about Star Wars. There was some divisive opinions. There was some not so divisive opinions. This time we're going to talk about Lord of the Rings, because we all love Lord of the Rings. And I've split it up into 3 different sections, so we're going to talk about 3 different things.
Is it the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and Return of the King?
That would have been a better idea, but no, it wasn't.
Are we talking about The Hobbit, or is that like off
That's going to be, yeah, that is, that's one of the topics.
Okay.
So
I
first
can't remember
topic,
most of The Hobbit.
I actually did a little bit of a rewatch recently. I rewatched
that's-
Desolation of Smaug.
that's okay. If you don't remember most of them, it's fine. So just to start off, nice easy question, lads. Is The Lord of the Rings the best trilogy of all time?
Yes.
Well, they're my favourite movies of all time, so yeah, for me.
Okay.
It depends. Is it like, are they the best movies of all time that happen to be a trilogy, or are they the movies that work as a trilogy better than any other movies work as a trilogy?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a different question.
It's hard to say that it's a trilogy, really, because it's one movie.
That's true. I don't see it as a trilogy. I see it as one movie.
They filmed it all at the same time. They just cut it into 3 parts. So.
And I also have difficulty remembering like some of the bits, or which bits are in which movie. Like for me, well, actually, Two Towers and Return of the King like merged together for me. I think Fellowship is the only one where I can remember like where it begins and where it ends. Whereas I can't remember where Two Towers ended and Return of the King began.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like Fellowship is the only one that works by itself as a standalone movie. Obviously, with the assumption there will be sequels, but
yeah,
I feel like
that,
Two Towers
that
and
one's got like a definitive ending, hasn't it?
Don't work together as like individual films, which is fine because they're not meant to. But yeah, that's probably why it's probably not a great trilogy. If you're looking for 3 separate films that work by themselves.
Yeah, I can get that, but like I still think that it's like, you know, some of the best films ever made.
I would say
yeah, definitely.
If you're going to judge trilogies, I would say one overarching story among 3 films. So like obviously
on that basis, then yeah, it's definitely the best.
Yeah, because obviously you have planned trilogies and non-planned trilogies. Non-planned tend to be not very good, but planned ones like this one tend to be, because it's just one long story, isn't it? Like you said, you see all 3 films, and to me, if I watch the first one, that's it. I'm committing to the 12-hour marathon. At that point, I've got to watch the second and third one as well. It's just to me, with almost every trilogy, you'll find at least one of them is the definitive weak one. Like, you know.
All right, which one's the weak one? Sure.
That's right. That's what I was going to say. In this one, there isn't a weak film. I don't think any of the films.
That's the correct answer.
could be called a weaker film than the other 2.
I don't think the original Star Wars has a weak film.
I think A New Hope is the weak film.
Yeah, it's probably contentious coming from us at our age, because you know a lot of the sort of older Star Wars fans will say you're wrong, but to me, I agree. A New Hope out of the 3 is probably.
I mean, I love A New Hope. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not on the same level as the other 2.
Especially not Empire. Empire's just.
I mean, Empire's like one of the greatest films of all time, so that's like.
The thing is, I mean, I agree. It is one of the greatest films of all time because Star Wars is one of the greatest films of all time. But I actually think Empire is probably my least favorite of the 3.
Ooh, controversial. So,
But
what's your favorite one?
Jedi. But we're not talking about that today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, so we're going away from that.
Right.
Okay.
So let's talk about, instead of our favorite Star Wars movies, what's our favorite Lord of the Rings movie?
Ooh, that's a hard question, dude. That is a really hard question. I can hate myself again, Michael. See, that's changed for me over the years. Originally, my favorite one was always Two Towers. Like, that was the film that I would put on when I was, like, you know, ill or whatever. But I think recently it's changed. I think it's changed to Fellowship. I think Fellowship is my favorite one.
I think Fellowship is more of a comfort film than the others.
Because I think,
like, if I was ill and I wanted to watch one of them and I could only watch one of them, I'd probably watch Fellowship.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's the one that
it's more
caused-
light-hearted than the other two, isn't
Yeah.
than the other two? So I think that's why.
But I would probably
I mean,
I'd
Return
probably
of the
say
King.
Two Towers, but I mean they're all just on the same level for me.
Yeah,
Really.
I know. Return of the King is just insanely good film. Like it's.
Yeah.
Ah.
For me, my favourite one will always be the first one. It's the one that it's probably the oldest film that I can remember seeing in the cinema, and it was just.
Really? When did it
Yeah.
come out?
I would have been 5 when it came out, 2001, 2002,
Oh,
2003.
right, fair enough.
Um,
For some reason, I thought you would have been younger than that.
I can't remember which one
Well,
I saw
thank you, Mark.
first.
Thank you.
I think I didn't watch them until they were all already out.
No, I didn't watch them I didn't watch them when I was that young. I watched them when I was like 10 or something.
No, yeah, I watched them. Yeah, when I was older.
When I first watched them, obviously when you're 5, you can't really understand the gravity of most of the story.
Bullshit! Did you watch it when you were 5 years old? I don't
Well,
believe that. George.
so you watched it in the cinema?
Yeah, I remember.
They let
coming
you
out-
in. Well, actually, what would it have been?
It's-
I suppose it would have been a
it's-
12.
It's not even a 12, I don't think.
What
Well, it
was the
might be
first-
actually. With
I
remember-
Gaze
I remember
getting
what
his
the
head cut
first film I ever watched in the cinema was. Just side note, it was Star Wars Episode 3.
off.
Ah,
I can't
such a
remember what
good
mine
film.
was. I think mine was probably like an early 2000s kids film, like Shrek or Monsters Inc. or
Nice.
something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Lord of the Rings. The reason I can always remember watching it, right? And people always say, "How do you remember it?" I don't remember reacting to any other part of the film other than literally the last 10 minutes, which to me, I think it's the best 10 minutes in all of cinema. I think from Aragorn sending the ring away to the end is the best 10 minutes in cinema. The
Well, I agree
music-
with you. I simply do not believe that you saw it in the cinema.
I did. Honestly,
Yeah.
swear down, hand on heart. I might have seen something else actually first before that, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Hmm.
Probably something stupid. Anyway, yeah.
What films were even out back then? It was like what, 2001. So
There's one. Shrek?
Shrek. Yeah.
when did Shrek come out in 2001?
Yeah? Hold on. Google it.
Look it up.
Shrek. I have my double screen set up.
I'm looking up what films came out in 2001.
2001 comedy fantasy film, Shrek.
Planet of the
2001.
Apes.
Shrek and Ogre embarks on a journey with a donkey to rescue Princess Fiona from a vile lord and regain his swamp.
Wow, thank you for telling us the premise of Shrek.
I feel like the first film, I think it was probably Monsters Inc. actually.
The Mummy Returns.
Probably the first one I can remember seeing. When was
Yeah.
that?
Oh, The Mummy Returns.
That was
That is
awesome.
such a good film.
Monsters Inc.
That was also
I actually
2001.
watched that last week. Oh man, Planet of the Apes. I
Yeah.
remember that. Remember that terrible remake.
The Mark Wahlberg one.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh,
The only good
my.
thing about that film is the villain. I liked him.
True, true.
Was it-
Who
was it
played that guy?
Eli Roth, was it? Maybe?
Tim Roth,
Tim Roth.
wasn't it?
Might have been, yeah.
Let me have a look. 2001.
Oh. How did we get to this?
Well,
Yeah,
Cause you-
it was Tim. It was Tim Roth. Who the hell's
Yeah.
Eli Roth?
I have no idea.
5.7 on IMDb.
Should be lower than
Eli
that.
Roth.
Doesn't it have
Eli
that-
Roth is the guy who played oh, what's it called? The bad
Tim-
guy in
Tim Roth.
Heroes, didn't he?
No, that's Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quit. Dude, this guy looks exactly like him.
Who's he? I don't
Look
know
at
who
this
he
guy.
is.
Oh shit, you can't see. Can you see?
I'm looking at him now.
Look up,
Oh, that's
look
the
up
guy who-
Eli Roth. He looks exactly like Zachary Quinto.
That's the guy who was in Inglourious Bastards, right?
Eli Roth.
Yes.
Is he? Is that
Oh
him?
my god.
I think it is. Hold on. What
Oh,
movie
he
is
does
he in?
look like him. Oh,
Doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he
That's
was.
insane.
That's weird. Anyway, back to Lord of the Rings. That's what we're here to talk
Sean.
about. I'm not the one getting distracted. You guys are the ones getting distracted. So,
That's the beauty of a good video, of a good conversation.
that's true. That's true. That is very true. So yeah, first topic, as Anthony predicted, is why is The Lord of the Rings one of the best trilogies of all time, but The Hobbit isn't? Where did it go wrong?
I think a lot of it, for me personally, is the overuse of CGI in the Hobbit. I think obviously with like I think like the orcs and stuff, all of them are CGI in the Hobbit. I don't think there's like a single one which isn't.
Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they look really different. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
the one
mean,
that was like
They're like really big
didn't
and
even look
beefy
like
and
a
stuff.
person.
But yeah, like I didn't
Yeah.
really like them. But yeah, obviously in the originals, they did them all with like prosthetics and stuff. I think that's what makes it, what
Yeah.
gives it a lot of a feel. Like it's the difference between, again, going back to Star Wars, the original trilogy, using a lot of like puppets and stuff, which gives it a more of a. It's just like it's a different feel, isn't it? Like to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It feels more, although it's like a fantasy, it feels more realistic and just real and just like grounded. Look like pure fantasy. Yeah, I get what you mean.
What was that film with Oh my god, it's gonna get on my nerves. This is a multi-parter. Hold on. Carry on with your conversation. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, the CGI is a big thing for me. Whenever I say to people the Hobbit's lesser because of the CGI, they always say, well, they're different orcs from a different part of Middle Earth. It's like,
Are they?
yeah,
Yeah, I think because they're from Gundabad, aren't they?
from
Them
further
ones.
north than the ones.
Yeah, I
from
don't know what the difference is. I
But
think
but
they must
even
just be
then,
bigger.
you can make orcs look different from each other.
Well, they're not the same species though.
Well, there's a lot of different species of orc
Yeah.
anyway, isn't there? Because goblins are still
fair enough.
orcs, but they're like just different.
I don't know a lot of the wider lore of Lord of the Rings. I'll be honest. Like outside of the film.
I don't know loads, but I know like a little bit.
It's sort of like different parts of the. So like a person from say wherever in this world might look similar to like us, but you could tell that they're not from here. That sort of thing. It's it's they're obviously still meant to look alike, but you can tell when different orcs are from different places.
Yeah, it's like somebody from
Fair enough.
from England and somebody from Finland. Like they look similar, but obviously they're different.
Yeah. But apart from that as well, the other thing that I thought The Hobbit was I don't know. It forgot all about realism. I know people will say, well, it's a fantasy film. The Lord of the Rings isn't exactly the most realistic, but it's like
Yeah, but the realistic still had that realistic feel to it though.
yeah, like as soon as in Desolation of Smaug, when you see the fat hobbit, whatever he's called, Bomber,
Oh my god,
and
I
he's
hate that.
rolling on those orcs in a
hated that
barrel,
so much.
I gave up on
There
the
were too many dwarves in the film.
Yeah.
I know it's the same amount of dwarves that were in the book, but I couldn't keep track of which dwarf was which and which dwarf I should care about and which
You know where they
dwarf
got the
was
names from?
in a relationship with an elf, and that was weird. And one of them was fat, and one of them was that
James
Irish
Nesbitt.
guy. What's he called?
James Nesbitt.
Yes, one of them was him. I remember him. I don't remember a lot of these ones.
Yeah.
I remember Thorin. He
They
was the
literally
main
got
one,
all
right?
the names of the dwarves from like the original like text from like Old Norse mythology.
Yeah.
There's literally like a text where it lists all of the names of like the dwarves, and it's literally just that list. It's like Orin, Thorin, whatever. Oakenshield is like actually on there as well. That's like one of the actual names. So they literally just took that as well.
All right.
But yeah, it's not very creative when you think about it. Like he just literally just stole the whole list of names.
Yeah, but there's that scene especially it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. At that like when his hands come out and he just starts spinning in the barrel, and for some reason all of these killer orcs are so easily killed.
I can't remember it right, but isn't there a scene like they're in a fight scene or they're running away from something and he's just like got some cheese in his mouth and he's just like got a... Am I remembering that right? He's just got something in his mouth and he's just running around like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Do you know what I didn't like the most? And again, it's like the difference between the old Star Wars and the new ones. Even though it's the same person writing it, the difference in the conversations between Han and Leia, for example, and the difference in the conversations between Padme and Anakin, you can tell the difference. That's what the difference is between the conversations between, Aragorn and Elf Lady. I can't remember her name for now. That's ridiculous that I can't remember. Arwen, that's it. and the conversations between that fucking dwarf guy and the elf lady. I can't remember her name either because she's a ridiculous character.
I believe it's
I
Tauriel and
think I know.
Philly.
Tauriel, that's it. Tauriel.
And it's either Philly or Killy. One of
But
the two.
her, like their sort of their relationship was just cringy. Like I did not. I think that was my least favorite part.
I think I didn't realize that it was meant to be a relationship until like the end when he died, and she was really sad, and she was talking to Legolas's dad.
Don't even
And
start
he was
about
just like, "Why do I feel this way?" He's like, "Because you loved him." And it's like, "Wait, hold on, was that meant to be?" I was just not paying attention to that storyline.
Do you know what it is? That scene drives me crazy. You know the bit where the big orc stabs him in the chest? I've said this in videos before, right? But honestly,
Why didn't he just die straight away?
not even that. They spend the next minute just looking back and forth at each other. He's not like, "Holy crap, I've got a spike in my chest." He's like, he's and he's looking at her like that, and she's like, "Ah!" And then it cuts back to him going, "Ah!" It cuts back to her going, "Ah!" Does that for about a minute. It's like, be a bit more
I'll be honest, I
creative.
must have completely forgot that happened. I can't remember that at all.
Honestly,
Like a YA novel.
drives me up the I don't know why they thought, oh yeah, we need to spend a whole minute of this film with the same two shots. It's I hate The Hobbit.
I don't hate them. I just think that
I remembered enjoying them for the most part, but they're obviously nowhere on the same level as Lord of the Rings, which is obviously what they're going to be compared to. So that's why everyone's going to be like, yeah, they were crap.
One character I did kind of like from The Hobbit was Bard the Bowman. I thought he was a really good character.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone else and Smaug obviously. Smaug was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I thought he was good up until he used his son as like a tripod. That was weird.
that was a little universe breaking, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched the extended edition of the third one?
I've never watched the extended edition of
I don't
anything,
think
to be
it. No.
honest.
They have a
I didn't
machine
know there
gun.
was one. There's a machine. Oh, like the old dwarf, like
It's just
things.
It's like a Gatling gun that shoots arrows. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They ride a
People actually make those.
apparently.
And there's an actual thing. I don't
What
know. I think
arrows
I'm
with
talking
Gatling
about my head.
guns?
No, because they made didn't the Chinese have those ones which like turned or something? I can't remember.
Well,
yeah, it was just,
I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima recently, and that's like it's set in Japan, against the Mongols, and the Mongols have what I think you're talking about. They basically fire like fireworks out of this big, like drum, and has loads of fireworks in it, and it shoots them out like
Hua-cha.
fire.
That's what they call
Yeah.
it. The Hua-cha.
That's what you're on about.
That's a Tabs reference for anybody.
yeah, the other thing with The Hobbit is obviously with each Lord of the Rings film, each film was one book, where this one was one book, 3 films, and they tried to somehow squeeze 3 films out of one. So they added things like Tauriel and him who isn't a thing in the book. Bloody Legolas turns up and he's not in the book. Thranduil.
So is she even in the book? Oh,
Nope, not at all.
No, Legolas wasn't in it. Like a lot of the dwarves weren't. Sorry, not the dwarves. The elves.
Thranduil shows up at the end, but is not in it as much as he is.
No,
It's
'cause
just-
most of the, from what I remember from reading it, was most of the bit where they're in the elfish bit is from Bilbo's perspective, and obviously he didn't see any of that. So,
Mm.
oh yeah, isn't like he gets knocked out. I remember reading that in the book. I haven't read the book, but in the book he like gets knocked out in the battle, which does happen in the film, I think.
yes,
But
actually,
then,
yeah.
so therefore, most of the battle isn't even in the book because
Yeah,
it's all from
literally
Bilbo's
just gives
perspective.
it-
And he was unconscious for most of it.
I remember
It's like that whole third film is just basically that battle, right? They kill Smaug pretty much immediately,
Yep.
and then it's just that battle for the rest of the film.
Mhm.
That wasn't even in the book to begin with because Bilbo was hardly in it.
I haven't read The Hobbit for about 4 years, but it was really enjoyable.
So
I enjoyed it equally as much as.
The main plot of The Hobbit is the conversation with Smaug, isn't it? It's the long sort of back and forth battle of wits between Bilbo and Smaug, and
Mhm.
yeah, like you say, he gets knocked out in the battle. And I think obviously if they just went, oh yeah, here's the beginning of the film, and now you're going to sit blank screen for an hour, and then it cuts back to Bilbo waking up, going, "What happened?" And then Gandalf just kind of goes, "Oh, we fought a really big battle. Everyone died, but we're okay," and that's the end. It probably wouldn't have made as much money as it did. But it would have been daring, and I would have at least respected. I would have respected them for trying.
What, a blank screen for an hour? You would have respected that. I don't feel like you would have.
Yeah, like I said, I know I've said I hate The Hobbit, but I don't hate The Hobbit. I hate some of the things in The Hobbit. It's not the same thing.
Some of the decisions. Yeah. Have you ever watched the making of?
No.
I watched the making of the second one, I think, and when they're going through the is it Fangorn? Which forest do they go through?
Mirkwood.
Mirkwood, that's it. Through the Mirkwood. Like all the trees and stuff, they had to be bright purple and stuff while they were filming because the camera that they were using made it sort of darken a lot. So when it was shown it on the the behind the scenes and stuff, it was crazy. It was all multicolored. It's really cool. But yeah, I watched that before I even watched any of the films. So I didn't really understand anything I was looking at, to be honest.
It's just I think it doesn't have the same kind of heart as the Lord of the Rings. It's obviously the Lord of the Rings message is clear for everyone: is that friendship, will always win. Whereas the Hobbit, I think it tries to put that almost same message across.
I think it's overall it's more of a selfish film, really, isn't it? I know that they're trying to reclaim the home, but primarily it's to get the riches and stuff, realistically. Yeah. And obviously the Lord of the Rings is save the fucking world. So yeah, I think it's just a bit of a different message overall, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just it's I don't know what more I could say about The Hobbit other than I don't think it'll ever compare to The Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. What's the next one?
Moving on. Next topic is, what is this Amazon Lord of the Rings series going to be about? What do we reckon?
I think that redoing the films.
Nope.
Like the events of the films.
No.
Good. That was my worry that they were just going to.
No.
I mean, it's got to happen at some point. Someone's going to remake The Lord of the Rings at some point.
Oh God, I know.
But
I really
don't
hope
think
that you're not right.
soon.
I hope I'm dead when that.
I think it still holds up.
Full disclosure, I know absolutely nothing about what this upcoming series is going to be.
Do we know anything?
I don't know.
I've hardly heard anything.
That's what I'm saying. I literally haven't heard anything. I barely know that there's going to be one.
The only thing that I've read is that it's not going to be a remake. Which is supposedly Ian McKellen said it would be down to return. So apart from that, I don't know what it is.
So much stuff that they could do.
So it's some point during Gandalf's lifetime,
which is only about 20,000 years.
No, but realistically though, he's only been in the world for about 1,500 years. He was. Oh no. He was in the West for most of his life. Because the wizards only came to the Middle Earth and stuff about, what was it, 1,500 or something years before this. But I think the blue wizards came a lot earlier than that. Apart from
What's the deal with the blue wizards? Where were they?
The blue wizards went into the east, and they nobody really knows what they've done. And I'm pretty.
They don't even have the names.
From what I've we do know the names actually, but from what I've heard, Tolkien himself originally said one thing about them a long time ago, and then he changed his mind what they did later on in his life. So I don't think anybody really fucking knows.
Yeah, there's obviously, because of these films take part in the Second Age, don't they? The Lord of the Rings, take part in the Second Age.
No, it's the third.
So how many years before that was the original fight against Sauron with Isildur and all that?
Would have been the First Age. End of the
Sauron?
first.
Yes, how many years?
Sauron.
I'm just thinking whether the.
I think you've got your fucking timelines completely mixed up here, Sean.
I might have done. War of the Last Alliance.
I'm just thinking maybe it could be about that. It could have been about Sauron's sort of rise to power originally.
Yeah, so the War of the Last Alliance takes place, it ends in the Second Age, 3441.
The Lord of the Rings is set in the Third Age. It's like the 2000th year of the Third Age or something. I was looking up the names of the Blue Wizards, man. Blue Wizards
set.
I know that's not. It's Alatar and Palandor. That's their names. But yeah. What were we saying? I was lost.
Yeah, what's the thing's gonna be? What's the?
Oh yeah. I think it would be quite cool if they did like Aragorn's younger years. I think that'd be quite cool. Because obviously he's like 80 or something before fucking Lord of the Rings starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Amazon has sort of got rights to, the Tolkien works and Lord of the Rings and everything, then they could do what Disney did with Star Wars and just make loads of TV shows about different characters and different times and make a completely new show about new characters we've never seen before.
Yeah, they could
just
do, like,
within the same world.
Earlier years.
I mean, if they've actually got the ability to do that, they could do anything with that world. It's so big, they could,
Mm-hmm. They could do like the earlier years, like the Silmarillion and like Morgoth's rise to power and stuff like that. I think that would be, that's like really, what's the word I'm looking for? 'Cause it's like basically gods and shit like that though. So I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it's gonna be smaller scale.
Yeah.
So I think personally, it's gonna be like something along the lines of like Aragorn's younger years or like something like that. I don't think that they're going to use anybody from the films. I think it might be somebody who we've never seen before.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I say, I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Well, I'd quite happily see something from the Last Alliance. I think the intro to the Lord of the Rings, in that showing you that battle, obviously that war goes on for about 40 years. 30 years, something like that. I'd be quite... No, wait, hold on. That's me getting them mixed up again. They don't go on for 40 years. It goes on for about 10 years.
I don't know much about the Last Alliance.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of the War of the Wrath is the one with Morgoth. The War of the Last Alliance is the one with Sauron.
It's coming out this year.
I don't know if it's this year.
I just googled Amazon Lord of the Rings and it just said Lord of the Rings 2021 adventure fiction.
Oh.
That could be bullshit, to be honest, but
I hope so.
Hell yeah, if it's coming out soon, then
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it is. They could quite easily expand on any number of the sort of, well, any of the minor characters as well. Really, couldn't they? They could go down any road.
Mm-hmm. I would really like it if they did like just like loads of short stories of like Gollum getting into trouble like through the years.
Are they making a game about Gollum?
I hope not.
I swear there's a game called Gollum or something
Really?
coming out. Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
I found an article.
Have you ever seen Little Nightmares? That game. How cool would it be if they made like a Gollum game version of that?
They probably are. I hope I'm not imagining that. I swear they're making a Gollum game. I don't know what possible sort of gameplay that
What would you do?
Lord of the Rings game.
Michael, you're echoing again.
Yeah, I found an article that said that in March, I'm presuming that's March last year, it was confirmed that the series would be a prequel series. That doesn't really narrow it down. With rumours swirling that it could centre on a young Aragorn. However, in the lead-up confirmation Middle-earth maps posted by...
I'm echoing.
Oh, you were really bad there.
Still down there.
Is it doing it now? It's alright.
In the lead-up confirmation Middle-earth maps showed by the official Amazon Lord of the Rings Twitter profile showed lands that would have only existed before the character's time.
Wow.
So the show will feature the island of Númenor, which is the home of Aragorn's ancestors.
Oh, yeah, that's way before Aragorn.
This is according to
Way before.
Could be complete nonsense, but
the fall of Númenor is coming.
Those are the rumours anyway.
That's still
based on what was put on Amazon's Twitter account.
It's like thousands of years before.
Yeah, make of that what you will.
Thousands of years before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael.
By the way, they are definitely making a Lord of the Rings game. It does say 2022. Oh, God. Yep, so look forward to that one.
Go off for Gollum.
Yeah, I've just put Gollum Lord of the Rings game. It's going to be
Does it say anything about what it could be?
It just says there's an upcoming action adventure game developed by Daedalic Entertainment and published by Nacon, whatever it is. Be on Microsoft Windows, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
John, am I going crazy here? Are you hearing this echo as well?
No, I didn't.
Put both things in.
Didn't do it there.
No, I didn't hear it. Yeah, Fall of Numenor would be cool because that's sort of the weakness of men before even Isildur was sort of the icon of the weakness of men.
Isildur.
That's a funny line. That's mint opening as well. No, I hope that it's the War of the Last Alliance because that's a mint story. You could see Sauron in all his glory. You could see the likes of Elrond and Gil-galad being hard cases. All the elves being cool again.
So I wonder if Hugo Weaving would come back then.
That'd be badass.
I would be cool with them coming back. Absolutely cool with them.
I love Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Actor.
He's got weird eyebrows, hasn't he? I think he's got weird eyebrows.
Mr. Anderson. Shit, I was gonna say something.
Oh,
What's that?
That's depressing.
What's that?
I just googled it. Hugo Weaving is definitely done with Middle Earth.
Oh.
The actor who portrayed Elrond in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies says he will not return to play the character in Amazon's upcoming TV series.
It's a shame.
Wow.
That's a shame. But it means that possibly he was contacted. So Elrond might feature, just not as Hugo Weaving.
Unfortunately, that doesn't narrow it down
It's
for
a
us
shame.
either because he's one of the oldest elves in the world as well.
You know, it'd be awesome. Like, just as a note, like, if it was like sort of focusing on like the wars between like Arnor and where was the Witch King from? From
Angmar.
Angmar.
Yeah. Like the wars between Angmar and like Arnor and stuff. I think that'd be really cool because they went on for like hundreds of years.
Isn't that the story in the second Middle Earth game? The second.
No.
What's it called? The one where you shank all the orcs.
Shadow of Mordor.
That's the one.
Oh, a Shadow of War.
That's
all in Mordor.
Yeah, that's in Mordor.
There is a city in
Angmar was like northeast of where the Shire is.
Yeah, there was a city in that Shadow of War game that was sort of like Minas Tirith style. So it's like a Gondor city that's sort of on the border with Mordor, and it gets taken over by all the
That will be Angmar.
Sauron minions.
Yeah, that's Minas
but that was
Ithil.
Angmar.
That's Minas
Yeah, that's the
Ithil.
one.
That's
Yeah.
the Witch King's fortress in the Lord of the Rings. What's it called? Minas Morgul. That's where it changed.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of.
Something like that. Yeah,
My,
that's a good game. I really like that game.
The first one was really good. I'd never finished the second one.
Yeah, they both were.
Doesn't the
I
second
love
one
the
have,
second. I love.
I think the second one got a bit too grindy for me.
Doesn't the
Like,
second one have Sauron in it?
I think.
Yeah,
did as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Well, they both do, but there's like a DLC for the first one where you actually play as Celebrimbor.
I thought you were gonna say
and
play as
sort of you
Sauron there.
fight-
That'd be cool.
And you sort of fight against Sauron. Is how he like. I can't remember very well, but yeah, he is in the second one as well, but I can't remember a lot of what happens. I just remember a lot of sneaking around and recruiting orcs to my orc army and taking over fortresses with massive orcs and beasts. It was so cool. I loved it. I know people said that it was just like one big grind, but I really enjoyed it. I loved it.
I love the second one a lot, but like I say, I think it got too bit too grindy for me. What was your favorite kind of orc to get? Remember?
Oh, God, I don't know.
I had this big Olog high, like the ogre ones, and he had he had like a big fire cannon, and he was completely overpowered.
I've never even finished the first one, to be honest. It does
The
just
first
get a
one's
bit,
really good. I finished the first one.
gets a bit boring, I think.
Did you ever play the second one though? Because the second one's really good. I think you would enjoy it.
I've seen like cutscenes from
I think you definitely enjoy the fortress battles, because that's the whole point of the game. Basically, there is a lot of story to it, which is quite good. But the main sort of the whole idea of the game is that you have to build up your orc army and basically take over all the fortresses, and then your fortresses get attacked and you have to defend them. And it's basically, once you get like 3/4 of the way through the game, that is just the game. For the end of it, it's just you attacking and defending fortresses.
Yeah, that's what
And
I like.
I think I think you in particular, Sean, would enjoy that, given that I know how you like sort of strategy battle games and stuff like that.
Yeah, just large scale battle games. It's become my new addiction.
Yeah, I'm a particular fan of your medieval Britannia strategy thing.
Yeah.
And my favorite part was when you beat the Vikings down to like 10 people, and then you engaged battle with them again and just steamrolled them with your whole army, just completely unnecessarily.
Yeah. Honestly, do you know what it is? That game literally makes me into Richard III, because I'll play it, right, and I'll sit there going, right, I'm going to let Katie be the crazy one in this video.
And then you just decide to kill your two nephews.
Yeah, and then I'm sitting there going, well, I can't let my nephew be king. You know what I mean?
Wait, did you actually do that?
Yeah, the last video.
Oh my god, I was joking.
I had to assassinate my nephew. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the bit when you realise that your nephew is actually the true heir to the throne, because you looked at the family tree and realised that you had an older brother who's obviously was his son, so he should be king. And you're just like, well, I can't have this.
Sean, we should play Civilization sometime. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Do you know what it is? I really like Civilization. I like Civ 6. I just think if Civ 6 had the battle like gameplay that Total War would be, it would probably be the perfect game. If you could
Sean,
find
we should play a game of Civ 6.
I'm game. I'm not very good at
Hell
it.
yeah!
But I'm game.
Hell yeah, brother.
Big Andy and hoard all the nukes.
I'm always Gilgamesh, telling people how they need to live religiously.
Who's that? Indonesia? I can't remember.
No idea. He's the big scary guy though, with a great big beard.
Hold on. Gilgamesh.
Yeah, with the Vikings, mate. I didn't realise how scumbag I turned until I turned around and just went, "Oh, their Viking bravery never lasted long, did it?" God, I was sat there and you could see in the video. I kind of go, "Oh my God, was that me?"
I love how you still had your like commander's head on. You were just like, oh, well, if I put my archers there and I put my infantry there, there's 10 of them. You don't need a strategy, just run them over.
Yeah. Because I think that's what Katie was saying as well. Katie wanted to just put them out of their misery. But, you know, they dared try and invade my country, so they have to be punished.
By the way, Sean, did you ever actually play Little Nightmares, like I said before?
I've never played it, but I know what you mean.
You should play that for the channel, because I think that would be really good.
It's a good game, like.
It's quite scary as well, so I think you would really enjoy it.
Honestly, man. Do you know what? I tell you what, right? I'll play Little Nightmares if you buy a game called Devour. It's £3 and it's the most terrifying thing I've ever played.
Is that the one where you're the meat blob?
No, you've got to try and fight this goat lady by bashing her with goats. Bloody terrifying.
Co-op survival game. 9 out of 10 on Steam.
What the hell is this? This looks scary as hell.
It is, honestly. We made a video. Me and Kate, we made a video out of it, and most of the video is us just strolling around the house, too scared to actually face it.
Ugh.
I mean,
it reminds me slightly of the big vampire lady from Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, big vampire lady, you say.
Yeah.
But like a more grotesque, like less HD version.
I'm so looking forward to that game, by the way. Resident Evil.
Are you just looking forward to the big vampire lady?
Why not both?
Both.
Why not both?
Yeah, both. I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, and it was like the big vampire lady can stand on me anytime she wants. I was like, I agree.
Were we talking about Lord of the Rings at some point?
Yeah. Just forget about it. Let's just talk about everything. It's cool. Yeah, it's
She's got like cockroaches coming out of her mouth or something.
I don't care. I care about stuff like that, Michael.
What was the question originally? Oh yeah, what was the what's the series gonna be?
Yeah, I hope there's big, attractive vampire ladies in the Lord of the Rings series.
Oh yeah, that's why you would like the second Shadow of War game, because it's got
Big attractive-
Shelob in it, and she's
Yeah.
rather attractive.
What?
By the way, that's not a thing in like the real Lord of the Rings
Nope.
lore, right? She
But
is.
I'm okay with it, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, I was really confused by that as well. Just like, I'm sure she's meant to be a giant, terrifying tarantula.
Wait, you weren't
John,
joking? She's actually
just
a woman.
Google. No. Google Shelob. Google image search Shelob Shadow of War.
Is this going to be like the Tariel thing? Am I going to be annoyed at this?
No, she's actually a really cool character in the game, but she's just a really attractive woman for some reason.
They do like a flash. They do. Yeah, one of the parts of the game is that you can collect a load of stuff, and if you collect them all, you get to see a bit of her like backstory.
Mhm.
And she was like an elf who got betrayed by Sauron, and then she got transformed into the spider.
Oh,
But
that's
I'm
so
sure
dumb.
it's not.
Is that what happened?
No,
I can't remember that.
That's so
I think
dumb.
so. I think so.
No, I don't think that's what happened. Like,
That is
I think
absolutely not what happened.
I think what it is.
What?
Again, I haven't finished that game. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it was just the fact that because she's such a powerful like being that she can just change her shape. So I think she changed shape to like,
That's so dumb.
sort of be with Sauron or whatever. I don't know. Like I say, this is just what I got from it.
Yeah.
And then he
that's-
like sort of betrayed her or something. I don't know.
That's so dumb. I hate that.
Yeah. Well,
That's ridiculous.
the wiki. Is that the wiki? Yeah. The wiki said Shelob is a giant spider and the daughter of Ungoliant.
Yeah.
Mordor was once her homeland, and she was an ally of Sauron before Sauron forced her into the mountains.
She's
Uh-huh.
never a woman though.
She still wishes to invade and take back Mordor. And so, yeah, like in the game, she used to be like, actually, I guess maybe a human or something. I can't remember.
Ungoliant
She
was
was-
Ungoliant was the biggest like sort of oldest thing in Middle Earth, and she was like the sort of spider weapon of Morgoth, wasn't she?
Yep.
And then she became too powerful because she ate the Silmarils. No. She had she ate the sap from the two trees, and then she became like fucking massive. And then I can't remember what happened after that. I think
She's one
she
of-
like betrayed Morgoth or something.
She was one of his nightmares.
Yeah, well, that's maybe what actually happened in the lore, but in the game, they just completely changed what.
Yeah, but that's
She
what
was.
I'm saying. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. She's still the daughter of Ungoliant, which means that she's still a spider. It's
Yeah.
just she can change her shape. That's what it is.
All right, fair enough.
I hate stuff like that.
But yeah, I mean, it's not as if the game is exactly going for
Yeah.
you
that's
100% law friendly. They do create another Ring of Power in that
Yeah.
game. Like,
true. Yeah.
I know, yeah, and they do also make it so that Isildur in the original Lord of the Rings films is not a ring wraith. The guy you play, Talion, spoilers for the entire game, by the way, actually takes Isildur's place as a ring wraith at the end of the game. So he basically sets Isildur free. He like defeats him, and then basically sets his spirit, I guess, just free, and then
Wait.
he takes his place as a ring wraith.
Isildur
So
was
in the
Isildur's
in the
not a ring
continuation,
wraith.
Isildur was never a ring wraith.
he is,
No, he's
He's
not.
not.
he is, isn't he?
He gets killed.
Wait.
Gets shot in the back.
He gets killed by orcs. He was never a
I
ring
must be
wraith.
thinking of someone. Am I thinking of someone else then?
Was it not the Witch King
Hold
that
on.
you're talking about?
No, I'm sure it was Isildur.
Destroy it.
Okay, somebody then. Maybe it wasn't him. Yeah, Middle Earth Shadow of War, Isildur boss fight.
Okay.
Yeah, you fight him.
Sure.
Yeah,
We're just all in
Yeah.
on the non-canon.
yeah, I thought it was him. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
you fight him, and then you become a ring wraith. But you like have to fight against Sauron's power, and by the end of the game, you become a ring wraith, and you end up being like canonically, well, in the continuity of the game, one of the ring wraiths that was like after Frodo and stuff.
I feel like
So,
for
yeah,
the
they
game,
reckon
like
a lot of
they just got a bunch of guys in a room and just said, "How much fan fiction can we just put into this one game?"
Yeah. Oh, that's annoyed me
Good
as
game
well.
though. Good game.
That's annoyed me as well. Of course, Isildur was never. Ugh. Ugh,
I mean,
come
it
on.
literally says in like the first 5 minutes of the first film that he dies.
Yeah. It betrayed Isildur
Yeah, you're right. I'm just.
to his death.
I guess I just thought he would end up being a ring wraith at the end somehow. I don't know.
I might play it. You never know. I might go back and have a look, have a gander. I tell you another thing. Since you've brought up Total War, did you know that there's a Middle Earth mod on one of the Total War games?
So there's Middle Earth mods and everything. There's Middle Earth mods for CK2, well, CK3 now, I guess.
What's CK?
Crusader.
Okay, so hold on.
Oh, Crusader. Oh yeah.
Nazguls and ring wraiths are the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, he is a ring wraith in the game. I'm looking on the wiki, and his race is down as Nazgul.
So when does the game take place according to say the films?
Sean, let's not get into this. Like,
I want to say like 50 years before.
Right.
okay.
That hasn't helped me at all.
something like
Never
that.
mind. Forget I asked that question. That didn't help me at all.
Didn't you have like another
I did.
category thing that we were going to go
I
into?
probably should have written it down. Got me distracted talking about vampire ladies and she-love
I got a
ladies.
question for you.
Go
Who's
for it.
your favourite character in all of Lord of the Rings?
Oh God.
Probably
And
Aragorn.
it can't be any of the Fellowship.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, then they just wouldn't be my favorite.
No, so it has to be your favourite other character.
Right. Can't be any of the.
I'll go first. My favourite character is the Witch King because he's so cool.
Really?
Yeah, I love the Witch King. I think it's so badass. The fucking helmet thing that he wears.
Yeah, the helmet's cool.
No man can kill me.
Probably Theoden.
Maybe I was going to say like either Eowyn or Theoden. Yeah, probably Eowyn.
All right.
Do you like
Okay.
Eowyn?
Eowyn's a good character.
I think she's
I
a
like
terrible
Eowyn.
character.
He's good.
You think
Really?
Eowyn is a terrible character?
Yeah. Like apart
How?
from helping Merry kill the Witch King, because Merry kills the Witch King.
Apart from killing the Witch King, you can't just say apart from killing the Witch King,
apart
she's a good
from-
character.
Apart from the
She's a
Battle
bad
of
character,
Pelennor, she is a terrible. She falls in love with Aragorn because he turns up to Edoras and beats up a bunch of our people. Then she falls in love with Faramir because he fucking tells her to stop being depressing. She just falls in love with anyone who isn't her brother or father.
I'm not going to blame her for falling in love with Aragorn, to be
I
honest.
know, I fucking fall in love with Aragorn every time I watch the film.
No, I've never liked.
Faramir,
Dude, I love Faramir. I love Faramir. He's such a good character.
I just feel
I
sorry.
think
for him.
Boromir is an amazing character as well. But
Yeah, Boromir's.
I think everyone's an amazing character. You know who's the single, not worst, but like my most hated character in all of Lord of the Rings?
Go for it.
I think
Wormtongue.
No, not Wormtongue. Wormtongue is a little bitch, but he's not my most hated character.
Frodo.
What? No, Frodo. What?
I don't like Frodo.
You don't like Frodo? How can you not like Frodo?
Well, I mean, I don't dislike him as much as I dislike Eowyn, but
Wow.
Samwise
No.
is the real hero.
Samwise is the real hero.
We all know that.
But yeah, what's his fucking name, man?
What does he do?
The steward guy. Steward.
Denethor.
What's his name? Denethor, that's it. Denethor, son of Actelion. He's the worst. The tomato every
Oh.
time. Every time.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing a petition online to get the actor who played Denethor to apologise for that scene.
Oh,
That's a mint scene as well. Apart from all the
John
chomping
Noble.
and everything.
That's what it is. Get John Noble to apologise for the tomato scene.
I do wish that. Oh, every time.
Heartbreaking that scene, isn't it?
Every time.
Man. I mean, it's not quite as heartbreaking as Boromir's scene, but you know, it's still sad. It's still
I think it is equally on par with that. 'Cause you can just see, you can just see his like heartbreak. It's heartbreaking for another reason.
Yeah, it's hilarious though, isn't it? Because he's such a backward character that, you know, he completely backhands his son, and then as soon as his son's pretty much dead,
My line has ended.
it's like he's suddenly depressed again.
And then he just doesn't care that he's still alive.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, my son's dead. It's like, oh no, they're not. No, he's not. Don't worry, he's still alive. It's like, oh well, he soon will
Set
be.
a fire in our flesh. Damn. These films are endlessly quotable. I love them so much.
Yeah.
I mean, are you really like a normal person if you don't quote Lord of the Rings at least once a day?
No.
Exactly.
No.
I think that's the answer to that question. Yeah, no. I think who I don't know. There's not all that many other characters apart from them. I mean, I suppose you could say like Gollum, I guess.
Saruman, maybe.
Oh, Saruman, yeah. I suppose.
I hate Saruman with all my being. His nails creep me out.
Do you know what I've said to my family, right?
Nails?
Yeah, his nails, they're too long and dirty. I hate them.
I've said to my family, right, when I retire, all I'm going to do is I'm going to move to Greece, right? I'm going to grow my hair long and grey and get a big long grey beard so I look like Gandalf. And what'll happen is I'll just sit on a mountain and sort of judge people as they walk past, and then when like a storm or something comes, you know, when they're sort of fighting each other across the sky, I'll just stand there and go, people think that I'm the one controlling the storm.
Have you ever seen that that Trollolol video that they originally put out years ago, where it's just like it's that scene, but it's just got the Trollolol music in the background?
Yeah.
God damn, it's going back.
Well, I never thought I'd be googling Saruman's nails today, but I just have. And yeah, I agree with you. They're
creepy, aren't they?
They're not only too long; they're too
like,
pointy.
Fucking Frodo's nails are the exact same, but like they're too small. They're too small, and like
he's got ridiculous fingers. Yeah.
He's got ridiculously small nails, and they're still equally as dirty.
To be fair, he is crawling through a volcano.
They're like
that is true.
He has the nails. His nails look like what the nail on my little toe looks like.
That's not something I needed to know, Michael, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's weird.
Mate, you know I'm going to have to put a picture up of Frodo's fingers now, don't you?
Oh, no, please don't.
Oh,
I would dislike that video.
Do you know, I say something that I was going to say. There's a thing in the third film that doesn't make any sense. So obviously, the ending of the films is completely different to the ending of the books. Right. So Saruman in the beginning.
Full disclosure: I never finished the Return of the King book. I'm like 2/3 of the way through.
Right. Okay.
So carry on.
So yeah, I would say probably a good example, Anthony, is that the films finish about a third earlier than the book finishes.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it's the Scarron of the Shire, isn't it?
Yeah, because Saruman doesn't die at Isengard; he dies during the Battle of the Shire.
Right.
And for some reason, the films they went, okay, so we have to give Christopher Lee something, and then that adds to the story. And he does the thing with a Palanthea. Obviously, in the non-extended version, he's not. I don't think he's in it.
No.
But
he's just cut out of the third film entirely.
What do you mean? So you don't see him die?
No. It just says.
It must be so confusing for anyone watching the film, being like, "What happened to Saruman?"
Yeah. As far as they're concerned, he's just still locked up there.
The filth of Saruman is.
I'll be honest. I think I've only ever seen the extended versions. I've never seen the original.
Wow.
Cut of the film, so I'm not actually sure which bits in the extended are not in the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know which bits were cut originally. So yeah, I didn't know that you didn't see him die in the original cut.
I didn't know
That would have really annoyed me.
Like
Anyway.
I didn't watch the
was
extended editions until like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, he does.
It was a terrible death, though. They could have done his death a lot better.
Yeah, he does that speech with the Palanthea where he goes, "Something festers in the heart of Middle Earth." What is that? It never explains what it is. It's like if he's
So the Balrog?
no,
I don't know.
no, because he's
When does he say that?
in the
don't
Return of
remember
the
that.
King, just before he dies.
Oh,
You know when he's on top of he's
I
on
don't
top
know
of
then.
Isengard and he just pulls the Palanthea out and he goes, "Something festers at the heart of Middle Earth, something that you have failed to see, but the great eye has seen it." And then he sort of pulls away and it never tells you what
Yeah.
that is. And then later on, Denethor says, just before he gets burned alive, he says, "You might triumph on the field of battle, but against the power that's risen in the east, there is no victory." And then that
I
doesn't.
thought that just meant Mordor.
Well, that's what I would think, but it's kind of like, does Gandalf really need to be told that? Does he really need to be told that Sauron's powerful?
I think he was just being a negative Nancy, to be honest.
I don't know. It's just, yeah.
I
they
think
probably,
that's looking into too much there.
probably
But I don't know about the other thing.
yeah. I looked on a thing on the internet and it said apparently they just wanted to get Christopher Lee in to sound dramatic for 5 minutes, and then just kill him off.
fair enough.
I love every Christopher Lee story I ever hear. Like,
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
just a
an
crazy
interesting
guy,
dude.
isn't he? Well, he was a crazy guy.
dude fucking released a heavy metal album when he was like 80 years old.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Does not
Badass.
surprise me. Oh, bless Christopher Lee. I miss him. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else.
Was he in The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause
Remember,
gives-
because he was in the third one. 'cause
Is that-
they went to save Gandalf at Dol Guldur. Was that the third one? Or was
Yeah.
that the second one? I can't remember.
No, it's the third one.
is that him? Oh, I thought that was Elrond and Galadriel.
It's the whole of the White
I don't
Council.
Yeah. Galadriel
Alright.
goes initially and she gets him out of the cage, doesn't she? And then Elrond and Saruman.
And with
turn
all
up.
that sexual tension.
Yeah.
Just bang already. Christ.
He's in the first one as
I
well,
ship
isn't he?
it.
There's a White Council meeting in the first one as well, isn't there?
Yes.
Where he
'Cause they, go,
possibly-
they go to fucking, what's it called, don't they?
Rivendell.
Rivendell.
Is that where it is?
So I think they do have a. But I don't. Was he there?
Yeah, because does he not have the blade? The
Oh yes, he does.
And he gives him the grief about Radagast as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
Radagast. What a character.
Played by a former Doctor.
True.
Yeah,
Radagast is such a weird character.
I know.
I do.
I would have preferred it was just not in the film.
I kind of love.
I really would prefer it just not being in the film.
I would have.
That's what I hated about The Hobbit.
I wouldn't have minded him being in the. But that whole 5-minute sequence where he tries to revive a hedgehog, that's just silly. I don't need to say that. Isn't the hedgehog got something ridiculous name as well, like Terrence or something like that?
Terrence,
Alan.
I think it was Terrence.
Or
I think it
Alan.
was.
Or
I can't remember.
some ridiculous name.
Terrence the Hedgehog.
It's got some kind of ridiculous name. I know that much. Everyone's got cool names again, except the bloody hedgehog, who no one gives
Dude,
a crap. if
Don't
they die.
doubt Terrence.
No one cool was ever called Terrence,
I'm looking it up. I'm looking
Apart
up a
from-
cool person called Terrence.
apart from Terrence
Terrence.
Stamp, aka the original General Zod,
Oh yeah.
and Chancellor Valorum as well. There's Chancellor Valorum.
He was actually, yeah. There was a episode of South Park called Terrence and Philip in Not Without My Anus. So, just thought I'd let you know.
That has not backed up your argument of there was never a cool person called Terrence. Yeah.
What was your bloody third thing that you were going to ask?
Oh, I've given up
Sean?
on it. I've just given up on it. We've covered enough. Alright, so We'll leave it there because that's an hour, and I can make an hour
That was
video.
an hour?
Yeah.
What?
Is it an hour? Yeah, no.
That was like 20 minutes.
An
It's
hour?
an hour. It's right there on my thing. It's there on my thing. Yeah. So
I'm seriously surprised that was an hour. I did not feel like an hour, to be honest.
you can get lost in Lord of the Rings. Let's
That's
face
true.
it. Those 4-hour movies feel an hour long as well.
Should we say like what we want to do next time? Because there will be a next time, won't there, Sean?
Sure.
Well, we could. When does One Division finish?
Ooh, Michael's watching One Division tomorrow.
I'll watch it tonight. I've only got 3 episodes and I'm
Night.
caught up.
Oh, Michael.
I haven't watched any of them.
Oh, Sean.
I'm doing the same thing that I did with The Mandalorian, where I wait for all of them to come out and then watch them all.
That's what I was. Well, that's what I planned to do after I saw the first 2. I was like, I'm gonna watch them as they come out, and then I watched the first 2, and I was just like, I'm gonna wait until they're all out and then just watch them because I'm not sure how much more of like that first few episodes that I can tolerate.
Sean, the ending of the latest episode.
Don't want to know.
It will change your life. I'm not joking. Like, it opens up so much possibility, and you will absolutely love it.
I'm gonna have to watch them all now, aren't I? You're gonna make me. I'm gonna watch all of the episodes.
I
tonight.
will say this: the first 2.5 episodes are a bit slow, but after that, it gets so much better. I think my dog's having a mare downstairs with like a.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is maybe we could wait until that's finished and then talk about that.
Why don't we just do like a Marvel episode next or something?
Yeah.
Just talk about like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like Endgame and stuff.
Well, we could. What I'll say is, right, I was going to say off camera, but I'll ask you now. I was going to sort of say, let's do maybe a monthly installment, maybe something like that, where I'd grab you two in, we talk about just movies in general. We'll find
Hell yeah.
something about movies that we want to talk about, and, you know, free labour, because I'm the one getting the videos out of this. And I'm all
Well, I
about-
would say about new movies, but nothing is fucking coming out at the moment.
No, nah, you're right.
I really
No.
cannot wait until I can go to a cinema again.
We made a video watching something that was recommended to us called Lady of Heaven. Genuinely, we had no idea what to say about it.
It's terrible.
It's like a 7-minute video, and it's like about the story of Muhammad or something. I was sitting there going, we don't know enough about this to talk about it. We don't break it down at all, and it's just essentially us going, yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about this. And that's the video. Just me shrugging for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, but yeah,
I'll be
we'll
down
do
for
that. So we'll say next one is Marvel. We'll talk about One Division,
Cool.
because I'm probably going to watch them all now. We'll talk about Spider-Man 3. Because I think there's some character announcements tomorrow.
What, as in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3?
No. No.
Why?
Tobey Maguire might be in Spider-Man 3.
True.
Let's hope.
Hopefully.
Let's hope. Yeah.
I mean, they've got J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson.
That is
So
true. Yeah, that is true.
And Alfred Molina as Dr.
Why not?
Octopus.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't he die?
Yeah. I guess it's as good as mine.
Okay. I mean, that'd be awesome because he was a great character, but
definitely the best villain in
Hold on.
those Spider-Man movies.
Butterfingers.
Alfred Molina. No, he's alive.
No, I don't mean the actor. I mean the character.
Oh. Well, I mean, it won't be the same version, will it?
No.
I think that
It'll be like an MCU version of Dr. Octopus, just played by the same guy.
you say that, Michael. Watch the latest episode of One Division.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we'll leave it there because we're not going to talk about Marvel in this video.
He looks a lot like Diego Maradona now.
what?
Alfred Molina.
I'm looking this up, like.
Is that why you thought he was dead?
Alfred Molina.
Alfred.
Hmm?
Is that why you thought he was dead? Because Diego Maradona was dead?
Oh my god, he actually does.
There's one particular picture where he looks a lot like him.
You know what?
that I can see.
You
Is
leave
it
your-
that one by any chance?
Oh, there's a one. Well, yeah, he does look like him on there, but there's a one with like a little, the Guardian newspaper.
Yes,
It's got
I
little
can see
Guardian
that.
logo.
I can totally
That
see
one.
that. It's the hair, isn't it? It is the hair.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna leave the video there. And I'm
Just
gonna
missing
stop
the
recording.
cocaine.
I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop the recording. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Michael and Anthony, for joining again. And I'll see you two when we do the next. I don't even know if this has got a title. But
Ring that bell.
yes, like the video, subscribe,
Yes, that.
hit the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload every day. Thank you for watching.